So you want to ask yourself, if fear wasn't an issue for you at all, if you had no fears in the world, what would you be doing right now? What would you be doing with your life? What type of life would you be living? What would you be doing for work? Like, what are the things that you would be doing with your life and with your time if fear wasn't an issue? That is a question that will unlock the very thing that you need to be doing. Hey Queen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle Renee. I am your faithologist, certified faith-based business mindset coach. And on this channel, I speak all things faith. I encourage you to step out on faith, and I equipped you with the tools necessary to do so. And if that is something that you are interested in, be sure to subscribe to this channel, all right? So as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about how you can become who you already are. All right, you're going to become who you already are. And BE.C.O.M.E is an acronym. All right. And so I want to just, before I even jump into that, I want to stress the importance of knowing that before you were even formed in your mom's womb, the Lord knew you. Jeremiah 1:5 tells us that before the Lord formed you in your mother's womb, He already knew you, which means that you are a divine being. You are first a spirit. You are living in a physical body and you have a soul. In Genesis 1, the Bible tells us that the Lord created man, right? He created Adam. He created him in his image and in his likeness. And then in chapter 2, He blew breath into the man and the man became a living soul. All right. And so you have to understand, before I even jump into the letter B, you have to know that you are first a spirit. Okay. Your spirit man is your divine being. That is your innermost being. That is your highest self, right? That is who God created. And that spirit, right? Your spirit is living in your physical body. And when the Lord blew breath into your body, your body became a living soul, your mind, your will, your emotion. All right. And so you are first a spirit. All right. And so now that that's out the way, let us jump into letter B. And so the letter B in BE.C.O.M.E is to build your relationship with God. And so before you can truly know who you are, you have to really know who God is. God created you in his image. And so the more you get to know who God is the more you get to know who you are, right? The more you get to know who your creator is, you will be able to discover how he created you, what he placed in you, the gifts, the skills, the talents that he's gifted you with. Like, only your creator can tell you why he created you, right? He designed you. He handpicked you. He literally crafted you, formed you, fearfully and wonderfully created you in your mother's womb. And so you have to go back to your creator and say, Lord, what are the gifts you've gifted me with? What are the talents, the skills that you've blessed me with? And how can I be utilizing these skills to bring you glory? You have to build your relationship with God before you can become who he's calling you to be, before you can become who you already are. It starts with you building your relationship with the Lord, with your creator, the one who created you. All right, that is number one. And I wrote an ebook on how you can build your relationship with God. It's called Issa Relationship. It's going to be linked in the description of this video. And if you want to really grow your relationship with God, it's a completely free ebook. Download it. And I walk you through the steps, the exact steps that I took to build my relationship with God. And that is through reading his word, right? Learning who he is, prayer, establishing quiet time, intentionally seeking after him, like speaking to him, listening to what he says. You have to understand that when you are praying to God, it is a two-way conversation. You don't just pray and get up and leave. No, you pray and then you sit there and you wait. You wait for God to respond to you. All right. And whatever it is that you're hearing God say to you, you write it down. Even if you're not even 100% sure, you write it down. You know, you can ask for God to show you confirmation, but you have to build your relationship with the Lord. And like I said, if you need help with that, I'm telling you, my ebook is what you need, and it's completely free. All right. And so that is number one. Build your relationship with God. And now let us jump into letter E. The letter E in become is to establish boundaries. Establishing boundaries is vital. You have to understand that once you sit with the Lord, you're building your relationship with God. You're becoming you're stepping into the highest level of yourself, right? The highest version of yourself. When you're elevating into your highest self, a lot of those things that used to be entertaining, you realize like a lot of those things are just distractions. They're distractions to keep you from who God is really truly calling you to be, who he's designed you to be, right? Who he's truly created you to be. So many distractions. And we have to understand that that is the enemy's tactic, right? Is to still kill and destroy our purpose and our identity. Once you really discover your identity, your divine identity, those things that used to entertain you, you know, you're going to see how pointless they are. They truly are very, very pointless. Like it seems like fun, but it really isn't. It really isn't. It's like, it's all a distraction. All a distraction. Once you truly are enlightened to who God is and who he's created you to be, it's like you're gonna have such a bright vision for your future that a lot of those little things that you used to do are no longer going to be interesting to you, you know? And so when I say establishing boundaries, that means like, you know, like some of your friends, some of your family members are going to have to just hear no, you know, if it takes you out of alignment with where God is leading you and takes you out of alignment with the version of yourself that you see for your future, the answer is no. Okay, there's no more people pleasing. There's no more worried about what people are going to think. No, the answer is no. No is a complete sentence. And you don't have to cross, you know, boundaries or do things that are no longer conducive to the person to who you're becoming. Some people are not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy with the version that you are transitioning in, because you know what that means? That means you're going to have to leave a few people behind. But if they are, you know, sometimes people are just in your life for a season, you know, but as you elevate, as you grow, you want to just prune off the people that are not serving you or elevating you or motivating you, pushing you or inspiring you into who God has called you to be. If they're not leading you to be higher and to be more established and to be more purposeful, then you're going to have to let them go. You really are. And that's sometimes that is hard to do at times, but truly at the end of the day, it does not matter. When you get to the end of your life, you're going to be looking back and you're going to say, did I make the right decision, or did I allow Sally to deter me from what I truly wanted to do? Did I allow Matthew to hinder me from stepping into where God was calling me to go? You don't ever want it to be because of the fear of losing someone in your life that you not truly live your dream life, that you not truly live in your divine identity. You don't truly live out the call and the purpose that the Lord has for your life. You never want it to be because of pleasing another man. The only person you're supposed to be living to please is God. All right. And so that is the E, establishing boundaries. Let us jump into the C. The letter C in become is comfort in the uncomfortable. And so when you are elevating into your highest self, when you are stepping into another level of yourself, you are going to be so uncomfortable at first because you're going to be doing things that are all new to you. It's going to be different. It's going to be extremely different. You're going to feel awkward. You're going to be uncomfortable, but I want you to know that you are growing. When you are uncomfortable, you are growing. And I want you to get so comfortable with being uncomfortable. You gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the only way you're gonna grow. If you're too comfortable, you're not growing. And the way our brain operates, it likes to be comfortable. The brain, literally, all the brain wants to do is keep you safe, preserve energy, and seek pleasure. And if it's something that is not pleasurable, it's not going to want to do it. Okay. You're not, the brain likes to be comfortable. When you're doing new things, it's going to be so uncomfortable, but you have to challenge yourself to keep going. In the awkwardness, you have to keep going. Continue to just put one foot in front of the other and just continue to go forth as uncomfortable as it is. And so I'll give you an example for me. When the Lord was calling me to start speaking, I was just like, what? Like, speak about what? I was always like shy, right? The world labeled me as shy and just like really reserved. Like, I remember just growing up never wanting to voice my opinion. I never gave my opinion about anything because in my mind, I just thought no one cares about what I have to say. I never voiced my opinion. I never shared like any input towards anything because now I realize that it's a lie from the pit of hell. But it's like before, like when the Lord first told me to start making YouTube videos, I was just like, Lord, what? And that's how I know, like, me creating these YouTube videos it's not just something that I just thought of myself. Like, I've never really been one to be much of a speaker. Like, my mom was very quiet, and I adopted the same thing. I was always very quiet, you know? And I still am. I'm still very quiet. I'm just being obedient with going forth and creating these videos to help inspire and to motivate and to push other women into their true purpose and their calling, and really encouraging women. Truly, my assignment is just to help other women step into their assignment, really, you know, like really encouraging other women to step out on faith, you know, because I believe that is just truly my heart, because, and I'm not going to get emotional, but I know what it's like to feel so trapped, you know, and just feel like, God, there has to be more for my life. And if I never built my relationship with God and never just took a step of faith, I wouldn't be where I am today. You know, I would still be feeling so confined, feeling afraid of the future, feeling like just feeling lost, you know? And so I have this inner drive, this inner pull to just help as many women as I can, especially moms, because I know what it's like to have to leave my children, you know, as a nurse, leaving them for 13 hours, you know, 13-hour days, and just having to work overtime, having to work nights, having to work weekends, having to work holidays, and just missing out on just precious time with my children, and just no longer having. I love nursing because I love caring for people. I love caring for my patients. So I love my career. I truly do. I just felt like the walls were closing in, and I know that God was calling me for more. And so my heart truly is to serve. And so I share all that to say, when the Lord was calling me to speak, I'm like, Lord, like, speak about what? I didn't want to speak. I'm like, I don't want to speak. Like, what am I going to say? And then, you know what? And then he also told me to go live. I had to start going live on Instagram. And I'm like, go live on Instagram every Tuesday to share a testimony? What? I was just like so uncomfortable. But you know what I had to do? I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because if I never answered the call on my life, like, I would not be able to do what I'm doing now, and just coaching many women and just helping other women to create their digital products and to create their online businesses and to discover their purposes and discover their gifts and their talents, and like just seeing the revelation as I'm coaching them. And it's just so fulfilling. Truly, it really is. And I love what I get to do now. And so, you know, even, you know, creating Faithology brand, right? Faithology brand, like working alongside my husband. Like, I would have never done any of this if I did not decide to get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable. And so, yeah. I know that's a lot, but I just want to challenge you to get uncomfortable, because that the very thing that you don't want to do, right? The very thing that you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, is the thing that you need to be doing. Okay. That is exactly what you need to be doing. So that's the C, comfort in the uncomfortable. And so let us move on to the O. So the O in become is to overcome limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns. So this is vital. This is so vital. When God is calling you to become who he's called you to be, there's going to be so many negative thoughts, so many limiting beliefs. You're going to be like for me, I was like, I'm not a speaker, but I had to eliminate that limiting belief and say, no, if God has called me to speak and to teach, I am going to do that. I am going to speak. I'm going to say what the Lord places on my heart. I am a speaker. I am a speaker. This is one of my affirmations. I am a speaker. I am a teacher. I'm a leader. Like, these are things that you have to overcome, the limiting thoughts, the limiting beliefs, and truly fill your mind, fill your language with who God has called you to be. This is how you overcome it. When you have these limiting beliefs and negative thoughts, you overcome that with the word of God. You begin to prophesy over your life and prophesy the things that God has spoken over your life. All right. And so it's so important to overcome limiting beliefs. And I want to challenge you this is something that one of my coaches asked me, and it was just so liberating. It was so inspiring, because I'm just like, wow, I never thought of it like this. But the question that I was asked was, if fear wasn't an issue, right? If you had no fear, you were completely fearless, and fear was never even an issue for you, what would you be doing? What do you see yourself doing? You had no fear in the world. What is it that you would be doing? So you want to ask yourself, if fear wasn't an issue for you at all, if you had no fears in the world, what would you be doing right now? What would you be doing with your life? What type of life would you be living? What would you be doing for work? Like, what are the things that you would be doing with your life and with your time if fear wasn't an issue? That is a question that will unlock the very thing that you need to be doing. The way the enemy works is he puts fear in you so that you do not step into exactly the calling that God has for your life. So the acronym that the Lord gave me for the word fear is a force earnestly applying resistance. A force earnestly applying resistance. Fear is that force pushing you back, right? It's applying resistance so that you don't step into who God is calling you to be. And so that very thing that you are afraid of, that is oftentimes the very thing that you need to be doing. It's so important to ask yourself, what is it that I would be doing? What are the things that I would be doing if fear wasn't an issue? And then you know what the next step is? The next step is to then visualize yourself doing it. Train your subconscious mind to see yourself doing that very thing that you are so afraid to do. You need to overcome the limiting beliefs, overcome the negative thought patterns and the fear, the doubt, the discouragement, anything that is holding you back from stepping into who God is calling you to be. The O is to overcome those things. All right. And so let us jump into the M. So the M in become is to manage soul care. All right. You want to manage your soul care. And what I mean by that is, like I shared in the beginning, you are a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a flesh. And so you want to manage your soul, meaning your mind. You have to manage your mind. You have to manage your emotions and your free will. These are the three things that you have to be able to master, because it truly is who you are, right? It's a part of you. And so if you could master your mind, right? If you really develop the skills that you need to manage your mind, manage your thinking, you will be able to then manage your emotions. Your emotions are attached to your thoughts. You can't have a thought. You can't have an emotion without first having a thought. They go hand in hand. And so once you learn to manage your emotions, once you learn to manage your thoughts, then you'll be able to manage your emotions. And your will, your free will, is your intention. It's the decision that you're going to make. And so your will is important, because once you make a decision, you are going to think the thoughts that you need to think and feel the emotions that you need to feel to take action. And so it all works hand in hand. I go deeper with this in my coaching program, within my CPR framework. I give you detailed explanation of how the mind works and how you can literally create the life of your dreams, really walk out the vision that the Lord has given to you practically by taking the steps to learn how to manage your mind, right? I teach mind mastery, emotional intelligence, and how to make the decision to follow the will of God. Oftentimes, the thing that holds us back is because we are afraid to feel certain emotions. And so when you're able to really master your mindset, master your emotion, have emotional intelligence, you'll be able to maneuver and to execute the goals, right, that you have set forth for yourself. You'll be able to really step into who God is calling you to be, because you will release or be able to really feel the emotions, feel the feelings, and still get past that and keep going. Once you set your intention on the life and the destiny and the vision that the Lord has for your life, you are going to have to do the work to manage your mindset and to have emotional intelligence. Like, you're going to have to learn these skills so that you can get to that destination that the Lord has for you, because life is going to life, right? But you have to be able to maneuver and to control your mind and control your emotions. So that is the letter M, and that is to manage soul care. So now let us jump into the final letter, which is E. The letter E in B.E.C.O.M.E is to embody your divine self. This is the fun part, okay? So this is where you actually show up as her. This is where you embody your identity. Truly, really think about, okay, what are the things that I would be thinking about? So I want you to take the time to really think about what are the things that your higher self would be doing? What is she wearing? Where is she going, right? What is she doing every day? How is she speaking? How is she speaking to herself? How is she speaking to others? How is she dressing? What is she driving? These are the things that you have to start to visualize and to really then just show up as that. You have to show up. This is the fun part, where you truly get to step into that person, step into that version of yourself. How does she operate? How does she, go about her day? Is she working out every day? What are the foods that she's eating? Is she eating healthy, or is she eating junk? You have to envision this person and then step into that person. That is how it's done. You have to see yourself there and then take those baby steps. Do those things. That's the only way to truly become her, is to become her, right? You're not going to become her until you become her. You have to ask yourself every day, what would the highest version of myself be doing? What would she be doing today? Would she be making this decision, or would she be thinking on a higher level and making a better decision? Whatever that decision is, that's the decision you're going to go with. You're going to always want to ask yourself, what is it that my highest level self, my divine identity, the divine being, the woman that I'm becoming, what is she doing every single day? And then that is what you're going to start doing. You are going to embody your divine self. You're going to embody the person that God is calling you to be until it just flows and it comes naturally to you. All right. And so let us just do a quick recap. So the B in B.E.C.O.M.E is to build your relationship with God. The E in B.E.C.O.M.E is to establish boundaries. The C is comfort in the uncomfortable. The O is overcoming limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns. The M is to manage soul care. And the E is to embody your divine self. And so I pray that as you do the steps in becoming who God is calling you to be, that you truly become who God is calling you to be. And I pray that these steps were helpful to you. let me know in the comments how you plan on becoming the better version of yourself, right? How do you plan on becoming who God has called you to be? Which step will you be implementing? Let me know. So if you're a woman of faith and you are truly ready to elevate your life and to step into who God is calling you to be, but you need an extra hand, you need guidance, you need someone to really walk alongside you and to guide you and to help you to discover your purpose and to discover your gifts and to discover like who your true divine identity is, and to help you and point out any mind blocks and to help you along with doing the inner work necessary. I want to invite you to join me in the Assignment Accelerator Academy. Within this academy, I help you to discover your purpose. I help you to develop your purpose. I help you to create a digital product so that you can begin to operate in your purpose and monetize your purpose. You're going to be able to profit from your passions, profit from the things that you already love to do. And so if that is something that you're interested in, then be sure to join me in the Assignment Accelerator Academy. I would love to have you, and I know it would truly be a blessing to you. Not only will you have a course, but you will also have weekly coaching with me and a growing community of other like-minded women. And so if that's something you are interested in, be sure to join. The information to join will be in the description. I pray that this video has been a blessing to you, and I'm just going to tell you, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. I'll see you guys in the next video.